for those who just tuned in, it is EconoChat Let's Talk Business with Mr. Daniel Steinman right here on your power station Energy 100. We are talking about productivity, and we have the question now. You did give us a very understandable explanation to what is productivity in economics. So the question is now, why is productivity important? Why is it so important? What makes it so important?
That is the fundamental economic challenge. If you look at highly productive economies, like the German economy, I think it's number one in the world. Nobody can beat them. It sounds very good in theory to be in a highly productive economy like the Germans. But it's not that cozy in practice or in reality. And you know why? This is where you run into the productivity anomaly. If your productivity is low, like Namibia's and South Africa's and most of the world, there is room for increasing your surplus side without increasing your investment. So it means that if your productivity is low, the charge will allow you to increase the efficiency of your operation without needing any more money. You only need to increase the number of units that you produce. And then you have to get your marketing act together so that if you produce more units for the same input cost, that you can actually sell them, so that you can realize the potential revenue of your bigger output. So it means that if in a low productivity environment, your first gains, your low hanging fruit is by increasing productivity. It means by growing your output without growing your overheads. So, and that's very easy. This is what many economies that are in dire straits, they follow this path. And you will also hear, when you look at IMF reports, they talk about transformation of an economy or rehabilitation of certain structures. And these are all nice ways of saying what we did is we improved efficiency. And for that we don't need more money. We just need to make more of the same thing with the same amount for the same number of people and same amount of raw material. So you've got very big room to move to improve. But when you are in the German economy, you're already at optimum. So it becomes very expensive to improve. With us, it costs you nothing to improve. You must just work faster or make more of it or do it better. With them, if they want to improve, let's say they want to increase their sales of luxury vehicles by 10%. Now it means that they have to go and invest, because remember they're already at 100% functionality. They're optimal. So if they want to increase output or revenue by 10%, they have to increase investment by 10%. And they have to increase the whole value chain by 10% to get an increase of, let's say, 13 or 14% before cost of sales. This is now factory door. Sorry, Elsabe, but I'm trying to avoid becoming too technical.
No, understandable.
Let's keep it simple. If they want 10% increase, they have to invest more than 10% along the value line, from where the raw material enters the factory to where they sell the Merc or the Beamer. It's expensive for them. They have to invest a lot. That's one of the reasons why you find German factories all over the world. It's also exactly the same reason why you find Japanese factories all over the world. Because if they want to increase, let's say Toyota, if they want to increase revenue by 10% in Japan, which is also a nearly 100% optimal functioning economy, it becomes very expensive. I would estimate that they would increase investment by at least about 30 or 40% just to increase revenue at the end of the value chain by 10%. So what do? They go to places where it is cheaper to manufacture. And that's why you find these factories in Mexico and Argentina, South Africa, Turkey, even Korea. But make no mistake, South Korea is in itself a country, a highly productive country, near optimal level. I think in that region, Taiwan is perhaps the economy that is closest to full productivity. But nevertheless, if you do make that investment, even if you go offshore, now from the home base concept. So let's again take our German example. BMW wants to increase sales by 6% worldwide. This is a lot, because competition in the car market is very, very, very stiff. Now they have to go and make investments of between 20 and 30% if they were in Germany. But they reduce that by enlarging the factory in Mexico or in South Africa, and by exporting more units. So eventually, instead of having to spend 20 or 30% of their investment, their revenue, they only spend 15 or 16, 17, 18%. But they still get to that 6 or 7 or 8% target, the increase that they set for themselves, at a cheaper rate. It's the reason why they open factories in other places than where they are. The other thing is, if you are already a very dominant market player, now you must remember, productivity, I said in the beginning, it's the fundamental thing of growing an economy, of improving an economy. If you sell, well, let me rather use Toyota because I know their figures. If you sell 6 million units, vehicles a year, like Toyota does, you can imagine that wherever you go in the world, there's Toyota. It's a lot of cars. 6 million cars in a year is a lot, It's nearly 40% of total production in the world. So for them to increase market share, they need to spend millions and millions and millions in marketing and in advertising and in building new distribution outlets and in getting more people on the consumer side to actually buy their product. Otherwise, all this investment upstream to manufacture more cars would be useless. It will be like 2010, 28, when all the cars were parked in the harbors, and nobody wanted them, nobody could afford them. So this is the point I'm trying to make, is that low productivity is not necessarily a bad thing, because it gives you more room to grow faster.
And to improve.
Compared to high productivity, it's very expensive to grow, and you have to really cut into your reserves to grow your market minutely. Toyota, again, if their market share in a year increases by 0.5%, 0.5%, they're very happy.
Of course they would be.
But for us, if we can grow market share by 50%, then we're happy.
That's the difference.
That's the whole comparison.
But also let's quickly go for a short break, and once we come back, we will try to find the link between productivity and the thing that hurts our pockets every day, that is inflation.